Right, so going to do a little review of what I love and what I don't like about my Velar, my Range Rover Velar. I've had it about 2 months now. It's the P400e, so that's 400 or so brake horsepower, and P for petrol, E for electric, so it's a plug-in hybrid. Okay. I bought this from the dealer. It's the dealer's own car. They'd had it 2.5 years, and he'd done a couple thousand miles, but they tell me it wasn't actually a test car, which would have worried me a little bit. So I got it from a dealer in North Wales called Rybrooks. I can highly recommend them. They were superb. Nick, the salesman, no pressure whatsoever. Ring him 24/7. I said to him, surely you don't mean that? He said, I'm on commission. I do mean it. So frank, honest talking, which is very refreshing. No BS at all. So highly recommend Nick at Rybrook in North Wales. I live in the far southwest of Britain, very near near the Lizard, which is Britain's furthest southerly point. I bypass the nearest dealer to me because they're useless, and go to one called Roger Young, which is near Plymouth. Hopefully the useless one has changed owners recently, so hopefully they'll pull the finger up. So what I love about the car, very comfortable drive. Suspension, this is the coiled suspension. Because of the weight of the car, you can't have the hydraulic suspension. I wanted hydraulic, but because I chose this engine, I couldn't have it. So, but still, the course, really lovely drive, really smooth. It's one of the sort of overriding things when you're driving the car for the first time, is how smooth it is. The engine's quiet, the soundproofing is fantastic, the level of trim is brilliant. Right, I'm going to turn you around so you don't have to look at my ugly face anymore. Let's spin you around. Okay, so other things that I love, let's go on wide angle, there we are, is the infotainment. Let me change this to, should be able to change the colour of that. Anyway, I'll do that another time. Don't know why it's gone to that. So 2 screens. Sorry if it flashes a bit with the sort of speed of the video and the speed of the frequency of the image. You can see it doing it there. But I love this dual screen setup. Very cleverly done. I've heard a few people gripe about these buttons. I'd say slight complaints as these are a little bit sensitive. They're completely flush. There's no buttons there at all. So they sometimes work, sometimes won't. I'm not going to press them because I don't want it to be noisy whilst I'm videoing this. Lovely screen. Let's go to home. Lots of choices. The privy system on this, I'm not sure if this is the updated 2 or the one, I couldn't tell you. It's fantastic. The navigation's fantastic. Let's go back. There's lots of sub menus within each section. So if we go to the navigation, for instance, if I press that, I can either use the Privy Pro navigation, that is this Range Rover Zone, Land Rover Range Rover Zone, or I could go to my phones and I've got Google Maps on that, I've got Waze, I've got all sorts, so lots of choice. There's a few issues that, for instance, if I use Waze, it will come up on this, but it won't come up on that screen. So that's got the Privy screen on it at the moment. Let's go to this area now. So I do love the main screen. Lots of choices to choose from. You can either have a traditional style dual dial with speed on one side and revs on the other. Very useful information on the main dial there, tell you when it's recharging the battery, which is not much. If you switch it to save, I'll show you that option in a minute. So you're running only on petrol. The battery, the main hybrid battery, does recharge quite successfully, but just driving around in hybrid, it doesn't recharge that much at all, in my opinion. I get about 25 to 30 miles out the battery alone. It's registering an average there of 31.6, but I don't know what it's sort of, yeah, registering that, and 35, 36. But very nice screen, very clear. I say lots of options. That can be a whole map if you like, or it can be dual screens, all sorts of things. And then this left hand one can be all sorts of different data. Love it, very good. The stalks are all very easy. I don't use the paddles really at all. I should do. My chum Abu always uses it on his Defender. I'm not sure what it does to miles per gallon, or whether actually just the driving experience is good. Let's go to these little bad boys. Love these buttons, actually. I was driving my wife's car over the weekend, and she's got a Peugeot 3008. Very nice car, but very limited, I thought, on the steering wheel control. But it's very clear, very easy. Got your adaptive cruise control, which is a feature I love. I don't think I could live in a car without one anymore. Very handy, long journeys. It just seems to take the stress and strain out of a long journey. Keeps you fresher. Heated steering wheel is kind of important to me. I'm a photographer, amongst other things, so night photography is nothing nicer than getting back in and warming your hands up. Got the usual things like moving a channel around or tracks, pressing the middle one. Changes, because your choices on the main screen. The triangle is a customizable button. Put whatever you want on that within reason. Switching off the lane changing ones, and that does the distance with the adaptive cruise control. But all very good, very easy to understand, intuitive. I'd say it's great. People complain about how intuitive this is, but I think, considering the amount of information you're getting from it, I don't think it could be any quicker. Well, this is a nice feature. I think this is extra on my model. So nice 360 cameras. There we go. And very handy for getting into awkward spaces. I did have a large white van smack into my mirror the other day, and luckily it didn't damage anything. Took the outer cover off the mirror, but everything else was working. Dread to think how much replacing a whole mirror would cost. What else can I tell you? So on the lower screen, they've got rid of this in the latest models, which I think is a big mistake. Gone for a single large sort of iPad style infotainment area there, information area, which I think would put me off. Actually, before I forget that, one thing I wasn't keen initially about is this gear knob. So it's just a backwards and forwards between drive and reverse. When the older models and some of the Discoveries and things, just scratched the leather there, had a round dial that would come up and you twist and turned it. And when I saw this, I thought, I would prefer to have the twisty knob. But no, that's good. Very easy to use, kind of easy to use without having to look. Got a little hidden compartment there. Got my key. Let's take the keys out. A little hidden area there. Press that pops open. 2 cup holders. One's hidden under there. So dual armrest like that. Like all these. Just worked out that there's a flat slot there to put your phone. I didn't realise that before. Like that. Doesn't have the hidden area that the Discovery had, which was deep down beneath. That was quite handy. Seats, okay, I'm going to leave them to last. They're going to go into the bits I don't like. Sound system's good, so it's Meridian sound system. Lots of speakers. Not actually got around to counting how many, so these are speakers up there. What else can I tell you? I still think there'll be things I have to discover. I've got an attenuated solar windscreen. I'm not quite totally sure what that's all about. But unfortunately, the heated elements in it, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, can you just see that in the sky section, little wiggles? It's one of my favourite things about luxury state cars, is having a natural heated element in your windscreen. But unfortunately, this one doesn't work, so that's one of the gripes. So on this one here, there's a band right in front of me that's about 7 inches wide, and another one over there that's about 7 inches in front of the passenger, which is a pain. It's definitely not the air vents. It is the elements not working. So I'm getting that replaced since the car's in warranty. Lots of room. Sorry, the car's a tip. I've got the Range Rover own dog guard. Did a lot of research into that and different choices. I felt that was the best one. Bought a 2-lay roof rack rather than Range Rover's own. Bit more expensive, but again, with research I felt that would suit me better. Right, let's just go on the negative. Sorry, I've just my little personal thing. I have my little lucky charms, so to speak, there. So my lapis Buddha and a Cornish pixie to help me on my long journeys. So all the buttons are good. In the old Discovery, so I live near, let's close up, live near a Royal Naval air station, so that's what the noise is, helicopter going over. But in the Discovery, the buttons for the window stupidly were up here. That's gone, that's down there, which I much prefer. I've got a boot issue at the moment. The boot's not opening either with key fob or the button, so I'm not sure if that's the battery, the actual car battery is dying on me. I'm not too sure. Car seems to start okay in the morning. So lots of niggles, but you're gonna get niggles. It's a highly complex car. I'm not actually that worried with the few niggles I've had, and the service I've had from Range Rover Land Rover's been very good so far with this car. But as I say, a nearer one to me I would definitely not recommend. They need to pull the finger. I might send them an email to explain. So right, switch that off. Some people complain about the start button being out the way there. It's no big deal, get used to where it is. I have switched off the touch sensitive door opening, just because the rate of, or the keyless entry it's called, because the rate of stolen Range Rovers, I think I read there was 90 in a day in London, which is quite a lot. So right, my main gripe of the car, let's get out and show you, is the seats. So I find it actually really quite narrow on the seat part. The upper part is really comfy, it's nice. I've got massage, I've got hot and cold, but it's these ridges here, and they're really quite reinforced. So my wife's French car has similar looking seats to that, but there's not got the reinforcement. So with my big rugby playing thighs, they're a little bit tight, so they can be uncomfortable. The other complaint is the heated seats themselves seem very lackluster, and I'm not sure. I've tried to do a bit of research whether it might be the actual type of leather. This is called Windsor leather. You can see the little Union Jack prints, so I don't know whether they don't, because they're perforated, whether it doesn't actually retain the heat so well, which might be the issue. So there you go. Overall, let's come out of the car. Overall, I love it. It's a stunningly beautiful car, brilliant to drive, really comfortable, and might be wrapping the roof, I'm not sure. I was definitely going to do it, but actually I've kind of grown to like it without. But what a great car. Highly recommend the Velar as an option if you're looking at Range Rover Land Rover. Huge boot, very, very comfortable, sporty, 0 to 60 in 5.1 seconds, which is fantastic. So there you go. Let's spin your... Any questions, just give me a bell. No, don't give me a bell. Leave a comment. Cheers. Bye now. Okay, one other slightly irritating factor with the car is that the stereo seems to come on once you've switched the engine off and you get out the vehicle. It does seem to switch itself off eventually, or else I would go out to a flat battery each time. But I don't know why it does it. A bit strange. Goes to the machine. Who knows? Hope you enjoyed the review. I do love the Velar. Can highly recommend it as a Range Rover. If you want something a little bit more than an estate car rather than a big sit-up and beg Chelsea tractor. Thank you for watching.